Okay, so I've been um at this Buddhist temple I'm in for 8 days, I want to say 8 or 9 days. First time I'm sitting in to talk about it. I wake up every morning super early for a long meditation at a big Buddha hall with other monks, real, Buddhist monks that live this and breathe this. And the place is so beautiful, and the chantings and the scripture is very, very real. I know it's not, yeah, of course it's real. What do you mean by that? Because especially in the new age, which there's a lot of good in it, right? But often there is a tendency to kind of skip the essence and go straight to the bottom line of what it is that we desire for the chant or for the prayer um, to give us. It's more greed and desire based. I'm not here to trash desire. It's an important part of the human condition, and joy is good and important in life. And sometimes desire leads to joy, sometimes to pain. It really depends on how you work with it. Um, but when it's just about that and skips the essence and the meaning behind the words and behind the teachings, then it's null, it's void. But here, everything is not about what it gives you or the bottom line, um, rather just the essence. And that is very nourishing for the soul and for the spirit. I've been going through a really difficult times in the past year in general. Up until October, I thought I had the worst year ever, and then the war in my country in Israel happened, and the attack on my people, and the discovery ever since that we didn't even have the opportunity, the moment to grieve. Like the worst happens, and then you can't even grieve. You have to go and fight and make sure it doesn't happen again. And then you gotta defending yourself to a world that seems to be under an absolute illusion. Um, it's like Twilight Zone. People live in an upside down world where truth is lie and lie is truth, and good is bad and bad is good. And not everyone. There are people with moral clarity who see things as they are, but so much of the world I realized I knew was in the dark, but this level of darkness has been, that I've discovered, have been overwhelming even to me, because I'm one to acknowledge the existence of evil. Hurt people hurt, of course, but that doesn't apply to everyone. Some people hurt because they want to, and it has nothing to do with a foundation of being hurt. It's that in and of itself, you know, realizing that about the world is painful. Having to come to terms with evil as a form of, it's just what it is in and of itself. It breaks down the structure of your belief as well, belief in the foundational goodness of the world, or of humanity. And that has really broken me down, especially in the past 2 months. It has been an overwhelming dark cloud of a grief of what happened, having to continue fighting, every person in their own way, um, and also the realization of not only where the world stands in relation to my people, but also where it stands in relation to humanity and basic goodness. I knew we were far from New Earth, fifth dimension, all this conversation that is very common now in the spiritual world. I didn't think we were close. I knew we still have a way to go, and that this conversation, we're just picking up on this shift, but it's not. The shift is split, and the shift is happening, but it's a process, right? Um, that is accelerated. As I have been speaking about in my other videos, it is being accelerated. It is progressing. It is real. But I didn't know just how far we were. And that makes me realize the urgency and the importance of this process being accelerated. Now, an acceleration of growth is always painful. It sounds great. It is a good thing, but the process and the journey is painful. And I know that this is what we're going through, and witnessing it and feeling it, especially on my skin, on the skin of my people, on my heritage, on my history, on my DNA. Um, I know myself. It would have been hard enough for me and painful enough for me to witness it if it was happening 3D level at the expense of, a higher dimensions level, um, through and by my people and the sacrifice of my people and the pain of my people. It would have been hard enough if it wasn't, if it was another people. But the fact that it's my people makes the human in me suffer a lot. And just waking up every morning and then having like 3, 4 meditations a day, long ones, and then work in between in service of the community here, and just being out in nature. I think it has been a life saving, honestly. So I just wanted to share this short, I guess, vlog um, about my personal situation, in combination, of course, with the spiritual processes that can apply to you. I don't know that I'll ever be able to do a vlog that is solely about me and not incorporate messages. I don't think it's natural for me. So anyway, um, thank you for tuning in as always. I do know I love you, right? And stay magic and stay true.